Hello everyone, my name is Anuj Sharma. I work at Hack to Skill as the Community and Operations Head, and I hope you are excited for this Robotic Process Automation Developer Camp by Hack to Skill powered by Uipath. Um, I know this is a Sunday evening, so I'll try to make the whole introduction quick so that we can jump onto the main topic and the main session of the day. So, on today's session, you'll be learning more about robotic process automation. What is it? How is it implementing into our daily life? What's the impact it is creating? And how you can start a journey with RPA. So, we'll have a speaker with us soon, and before moving that, I'd like to take you through the process of this session and what you have to do after the session. So when you complete the session, after that, you just have to complete a course called Introduction to RPA, and you have to complete the course, download a diploma, and submit it onto our platform. And after that, we'll be reaching out to you after verifying it so that we can send you the UiPath swags. And apart from that, during the session, we have couple of giveaways, or to be called, the social giveaways. Feel free to take screenshot of the session, post it on your social media accounts, tag the speaker, tag Hack2Skill, UiPath, hashtag RPADC, hashtag UiPath, hashtag H2S. I'll drop everything in the comment section. And I guess, and then we'll be selecting, around few of them from the social media, and we'll be reaching out to them for the giveaways. I hope you're excited. Before moving forward, I'd like to call Anubhav on the stage, Anubhav Gupta, the DSC lead at NITJ, who made this collaboration happen, to address the students and see what you have to say. Hey, Anubhav, can you hear me?
Hey folks, yep, we are back. So this is a wonderful collaboration with Uipath and Hack to Skill. So we're back with another workshop on robotic process automation. So this is a pretty new technology that is incubated by Uipath, and I hope you will like the session because getting into new technologies is always fascinating, right? And talking of robotic process automation, this is something that has great potential and can achieve a great success rate in industry because of its potential to simplify the production rates and increase the production of any company. Like it can be incubated and it can be integrated in almost all the domains that we can think of, right? So this is a pretty OP thing that we are up to right now, right? So uh,
Great.
do feel to tag us on the social medias and do drop all your questions in the chat box. Like we'll be happy to attend all of them. Yep.
Great. Thanks a lot, Anubhav, for sharing your insights on what RPA is and, about this collaboration. Now it's time to call the guest speaker and the main event of the day, Mukesh. Hey, Mukesh, can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes, Anuj. Hi, everyone. Yes, I hope I am audible. Thank you, Anuj, for the
Yes.
invitation.
Yes, you are audible and you are visible. So, guys, you all have seen the posters. You have seen about him on the website, on LinkedIn, probably. But still, I'll take you through a quick introduction. Mukesh Kala is the UiPath MVP who is working and supporting the RPA community for quite a long time. And along with that, he's a full-time RPA developer at NatWest Group. And he has his own YouTube channel where he trains students and support all the community members through his knowledge and continuous support. So Mukesh, how you're feeling here, and like what's your take on this session, this collaboration?
First of all, thank you, H2S, for inviting me for this session. And it's always good to speak to students because this is one of my favorite part. Whenever I'm talking to students, I'm giving to session to the students. It's very much exciting for me. So yes, let's see how it goes. And I hope at the end of this session, you all would be excited to explore RPA. Right. So that is my job, which I'm going to do today.
Definitely. So I won't waste any of your time. I'll hand over the session to you, the virtual mic, in fact. So yep, I'll go backstage and best of luck, Mukesh.
Okay, so I am just sharing my screen. Okay, let me know if you are able to see. I have just put up a PPT, which is Introduction to RPA.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, so what is RPA? So first of all, you might have heard of this technology called RPA. So what we are going to do in this today's session, I'm going to introduce you to RPA. I'm going to show you what RPA is, how does it works, how does it looks like, how can you start, and at the end we are going to answer some of your queries. Okay, so let's see what exactly we have in the deck. Okay, so first of all, what is RPA? RPA full form, if I go by the full form, stand for Robotic Process Automation. Now, when I say robotic process automation, the first word which comes to our mind is that what is this, right? So first thing, it is a technology which enables a software program to mimic the human action. Now, whatever action as a human you and I can do, the same action can be done with the help of software robots. Now, when I say mimic the human action, which means that if I'm able to type something on the screen, my robot will be also able to type something on the screen. If I'm able to click on the mouse, my robot will also be able to click. If I'm able to read the computer screen, if I'm able to extract the data, everything can be done with the help of this technology, which is called RPA, and the full form is Robotic Process Automation, where R is the robot which is going to do the thing, and PA stand for process automation, which means that whichever process you have, the robot can exactly do the same process and mimic the human action. Just to give you an example, if there is a task where I have to go to a website, log into the website, download the data, store it in some Excel, and send an email. Now, this is a task which I tell you that you have to do this task for the entire 1 year. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, you will do. After the 4th day, you will say, hey, I'm not going to do this task. This is exactly the same task. There is no human brains involved. It is bored. Why should I do it? All such kind of tasks now can be given to the robot. So what will the robot do? The robot will launch, it will open the website, it will log in. Whatever task you were doing, the repetitive and the mundane task would be now given to the robot. So this is how RPA as a technology and a definition look like. Let's move forward and see what exactly is there. Okay, now when I say RPA, the first thing, it can mimic human action. So whatever things as a human I do on the computer screen with the help of my keyboard and the mouse, the same thing can be done with the help of a robot as well. It can operate on any application. This is the best part. So whether I have a browser, whether I have a notepad, whether I have a PPT, whether I have an Excel, Word, PowerPoint, every application RPA can work on. So RPA just can take the input from one application and take it to the other application. That is what I'm going to show you when I'm doing the demo. Okay. It has the structured reasoning and the action data, right? So whenever we read the data, right, data is in certain format. So there can be tables, there can be rows, there can be there can be tables of data. RPA has the capability to read all kind of data and action on the data as well. When I say action, it is not only input and output. You can actually do the calculation. You can action on the data. You can create reports. You can create charts. You can create bar graphs. Anything, everything can be done with the help of RPA. And the best part, no mistakes without resting. If as a human, if I'm working for, let's say, 8 hours, 9 hours, what would happen after some time? I would feel tired. But when the robots are working, they can work 24 cross 7 without any mistake. They won't do any human mistake, such as when I am typing, I may make human mistake. Instead of clicking on X, I can click on Y. But when the robot is working, it can work 24 cross 7 without any mistake and without resting. That is the best part. Quick to implement, powerful to scale. What does it mean? Whenever we say that this is a technology, that means we have to write some code. So the best part about RPA, it's a low code platform, which means now when we are showing, when I'm taking you to the Uipath Studio, you will analyze that why I am saying that it is quick to implement. You will see that in a very limited amount of activities, in a very small code, I am able to write a bigger part of the automation, right? And it is powerful to scale, which means that I can easily increase the number of robots and decrease the number of robots as well. So this is at a very high level what RPA is. Okay, let us move forward. Okay, so till the point I have been telling that robot, robot, and robot. So you might be thinking, what is this robot, right? So when I say robot, I mean a software robot. Software robot mean it is a program which is running inside my computer. Now this slides talk about what RPA is not. So these are not the walking or the talking robots, right? Like the way we see in the movies, right? These are not the humanoid, right? These are the software robots. These are not the warehouse robot which you see on the Amazon or the Flipkart warehouses, right? These are the software robots which are working inside the computer. And the main thing is, whenever someone is getting introduced to RPA, he learns a little bit more about RPA. There is a common misconception that RPA is going to replace the humans. So the thing, when I say that your job will be taken care by the robot, now the fear comes that what if the robot is doing my job, what will I do? But the reality is the robot is going to take the repetitive and the mundane task which you are doing. The part of taking the human decision, taking the creative decision, doing the creative and the analytical work still lies with the human. So why exactly RPA is coming in market? Because whatever things which you are doing in a repetitive and the mundane nature, all that tedious work can be now given to the robots. So that is what RPA come in picture. And this is not humanoid, nor a warehouse, and not a human replacement. It is the software robot which will take the manual and the repetitive task from you. Okay, so now what robots can do? I hope now you all understand that yes, RPA is a technology which creates software robots. Now what all can this robot do? These are some of the things which I have mentioned. It can log into any application, be it an SAP, Facebook, Instagram. It can connect to any APIs. With the help of RPA, I can move files and folder from one location to another location, from D colon data to E drive, F drive. I can move files and folder. I can extract data from documents, PDF, emails, and the forms. So it is not only restricted to PDF emails, right? If I have a form, let's say banking form, which is handwritten. Now I want, so when we typically go to a bank, right, we fill so many forms. And now there is a person sitting on the bank who would be reading that form, filling the data into the computer. With the help of RPA technology, I can scan that form. We can read the scanned form, extract the data, and put the data into the computer system. Now, all of this operation can be done with the help of RPA. It is not only restricted to the application, but you can also do the data table and the database manipulation, such as Oracle, SQL, any database. You can read and write database, right? You can open the emails, you can send an email with attachments, you can have emails which you have received, you can download the attachments as well. Everything is possible. Scrape the data from the web. I have a website where there is a lot of data. Now I want to get all this data. Instead of copying and pasting one by one, we can have a robot to do these things. And the last part is make calculation. It is not only restricted to input and output, but you can actually make calculation on the data, right? Okay, so before I go and talk more about the slides, right, I just want to show you a quick demonstration on object detection, which I have made. Okay, this is a small video which I have made, and this video I have made with the help of Uipath technology. Okay, let me just open this video. This video is a object detection video. Okay, so just mute this. I'll go forward demonstration just to show that what exactly a RPA can do. Okay. Okay, so let me just pull up in the full screen. Okay, so this is how a Uipath Studio looks like, where I have a lot of code which I have written. Okay, so this is my folder structure. Okay, in my folder, I have an input folder and I have an output folder. In the input folder, if you will see, I have put two images. Okay, so this is image number one, where you can see that some people are sitting and working on some table laptop scenes, like office scene, right? Now I have one more image, which is this, where certain people are having dining, right? So these are the two images which I have kept in an input folder, and output folder is absolutely blank for me. Okay, now I wanted to do an object detection on this one. How I can do, and what would be the code, and how capable is RPA, right? So let us see. I'll go back to my Uipath Studio. I will go to the main. So this is how a Uipath Studio looks like. Okay, we'll talk about all of this. I have triggered the robot. That means I have triggered my robot and I have instructed it to do something. So now at the bottom, if you will see, that UI indicates that the robot is working. Now what is that robot doing? Okay, so if you will see that execution has completed, it took around 1 minute to complete this. Now, if I go back to the folder, you can see that in the output folder, I have got two images. Okay. If I just open the first image, okay, you can see that the robot was actually identify the elements from the image, right? It was able to detect the object, such as this is a person, this is a chair, this is a laptop. You can see that it was able to identify the cell phone and with a 0.92, which means that that is the confidence level, right? It is 74% sure that this is a chair, 100% confident that this is an person, right? Cell phone. So it was able to identify all of these things. Now if I just go and show you the next image, right, which it has done, right? So it has done with the help of RPA. This thing is done with the help of RPA. Okay, let me go to the next one. This is the next image which we have given as an input. Here the robot was able to identify the bowl, the dining table, the cup, the person with an accuracy, even the bottles as well, right? Now you might be thinking that Mukesh, you would have written a whole lot of code. But trust me, I have just used only three activities. Only three activities, that to drag and drop to accomplish this automation. Okay, now what has happened here? Robot went, read the image from the folder. That then when I told that it is RP has a capability to read the image, it read the image, it passed that data to a predefined UiPath model which is available. So I don't have to write any single piece of code. Trust me when I say this, I just use a drag and drop activity and I was able to do this. Now some of you might be from a programming background, right? You might be have a little bit knowledge about programming. Now you just think, if I have to do the same code with any of the programming language, how much code I have to write? It would be a whole lot of code. But in RPA, I was able to do with the help of only three activities, and the development time I would say is not more than 10 minutes to do this thing. So that is the power of RPA UiPath. Okay. So we are going to discuss more about this, but that was just to show you that how powerful it is. Okay. So now, what are the use cases of RPA in business, right? When we say business, because if you are learning it tomorrow, you are going to be a part of an industry. It can be any of the industry which is available, right? These are some of the examples. Lot of industry, lot of businesses are investing in RPA as a technology. Now, why they will do it? These are the some of the example which I have put. So as of now, all of you are in the education field, right? You are in the still colleges. So there is a field which I have mentioned, which is called education, just to put the things that you can relate. For example, enrollment process in your college. So if you see on yearly basis, a lot of people are coming to the colleges for enrollment. So 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. The enrollment process is exactly the same. Somebody on your administration side is taking all your data, filling up the records into some system, into some files, into some folder, managing all your records, checking all your mark sheets, filling all those, checking your percentage calculator, creating an ID card for you, creating your access for the library. Enrollment process is a large process which is happening for all the students. What is changing? The name of the student, the year. But if you will see, ideally the process is same. How about we have a robot which does all this mundane and repetitive task for us, right? That would be helpful. Attendance robot. All of us are coming to join this meeting. Now, if I have to take an attendance, at the end of the day, my teacher is daily taking the attendance. That means it is a repetitive task he or she is doing. How about an attendance robot? Wherever the session is 50%, let me trigger a robot that will go see who all are there, extract all that information, put it in an Excel sheet and send it to the teacher. My job done. The teacher does not have to go and take the attendance, right? So that is an example of RPA which you can relate. Scheduling meeting. Okay, let's say I am the HOD of your college and today I want to invite all of the student parents to the annual conference or the webinar, right? It can be anything. Now I as an HOD want to write an individual email to all of your parents. I'm not going to go sit into the machine, have an email that, hi Mr. X, we are inviting you to do this. Rather, I can have a robot. I can teach the robot that these are the set of email IDs. This is their child name. These are the parents. This is the date. And you just do and send an invitation. Now the robot will do, it will create email, put the attachment, whatever you treat it, right? Whatever you tell the robot, it will exactly do the same. So developing and creating a robot is like hiring an assistant for yourself. Now I have hired an assistant. Now I'm telling my assistant that, hey, Mr. Assistant, you have to do all these things. So my assistant, my robot will do all of these things, right? Answering queries robot. This is one of the very common robot. So every year new students are coming, right? They would have a lot of questions that where should I get for the library? Where should I get the enrollment card? Where should I submit the book? And lot of questions. How about a robot which is created where the newcomer to the college can just go fire his query, get the answer? Library robots, alerts, library robots, right? Who is supposed to, okay, so library management works something like this, right? So I have 10 or 15,000 books which I am having, and there are a lot of students who have taken the books. Now when it is time to return the book, the librarian has to go and check who is has not written, who has not done this, who is given. How about an automated system which does that, that whenever the end date is approaching, it just go and send an email to the student saying that, hey, you are supposed to return this book. Have you written? Yes, no. Some kind of management, right? So that you don't involve into repetitive task, right? So that is what RPA can be done in education sector. There are other sectors such as supply management, right? Inventory management, invoice and the contract. Invoice and the contracted is a very large field, right? Whenever I am talking to a new client, talking to new customer, they would have invoices, they would have contract. Now I don't want a human person to sit and read all the invoices one by one, fill up in some system and then do the calculation. I have I am a company who is supplying goods to the customer. Right now, along with the goods, I have to create invoices also. I don't want to manually sit and create the invoices, right? Rather, I will hire a robot. I will build a robot. I will build an assistant who will create the invoices, create the contracts, do everything for me, right? Small example of supply chain. IT. IT is which every company is having, right? Servers, app, monitoring, databases, routine maintenance, monitoring. I don't want to hire an employee who is just sitting in the front of a monitor and just monitoring that yes, everything is working green, everything is working fine. If anything goes red, do this. Now I don't want that person to sit and do this. What happens when the server breaks and he went for a coffee break, right? Rather, I can have a robot. I can have an assistant who is keep monitoring my servers. Whenever there is a red flag, the robot does all the tasks which the human was supposed to do. Payroll, HR, onboarding, offboarding. Onboarding, offboarding is exactly the same thing like enrolling a new student to the company. Sorry, and onboarding a new employee to the company. And when he is leaving the company, we would have to remove all his accesses. For example, today I am joining a company, and after 5 years, I am leaving that company. When I am leaving, company has to make sure that all my accesses are removed. I don't have access to their mail server, I don't have access to the building, I don't have access to XYZ places, right? How would I ensure that everything is done? If at a day, let's say 500 employees resign on the same day, now there has to be someone who has to do this for all the people. If the robot is doing it, it will do in a more faster way and in a much clearer way, and it would not do any mistakes, right? Client services, accounting, operation, these are again some of the very broad areas where RPA is working, such as account reconciliation, customer services. Accounting, when I say, it comes from the banking. In the banking, there is a huge lot of data. Every day there is a lot of financial transactions happening. Now if I tell that yes, I have this employee X, he's going to match the debit and match the credit. He is matching one by one, right? At the end, he is preparing a report that okay, these transactions were debited, these are not credited, and creating all these things, right? He might make a manual mistake, and in banking, we don't want to have any such mistake. That is where robots are primarily used for reconciliation purposes. These are some of the limited use cases, guys, I have put. Trust me, there is a whole lot of use cases RPA in businesses. Okay, now I have talked about more about RPA. What is the benefit which we are getting? Why should you implement RPA, right? There should be some benefit. First of all, increased execution speed, which means that definitely if Mukesh is doing and the robot is doing, the robot would be definitely faster. Execution speed. Accuracy means that it will work without any human errors, right? It would have enhanced accuracy. It can work 24/7. Execution speed increased, accuracy is increased. improve regulatory compliance. It is not going to touch the application which it is not supposed to. If I tell the robot to touch only application A, B, and C, the robot is only going to touch A, B, and C. Robot does not have it brain, right? Whatever we tell the assistant, it does the same. Reduced cost of process execution, right? Whenever I am doing something, right? So I have to, we have automated a process. Now there is a robot which is doing it. So the robot has taken the entire process. I have freed up a resource. I have freed up the time. That means I have reduced the cost of process execution. So the process execution, let's say initially was taking 10 hours. Now the process execution is only done in 1 hour. So I have reduced the cost, right? Time, money, anything, right? It can be a cost saving, it can be money saving, anything. Easier scaling. This is very important, and this is where you can actually relate it to, right? So let's say in your college, this year you got 200 students, and your administrative staff, there was two guys who were able to handle the 200 students well and happy, everything good. Next year, what happened? You got 2000 students. Now, when there are 2000 students, your two employees cannot manage. What would the college have to do? They would have to hire more people to do it. They would have to train them. They would have to teach them that how this is, how do you onboard, how do you offboard. These are the details. They would have to, give them salaries, do a lot of work, right? Because the students have increased. What happens after 5 years? The student count again reduced. Now you have 10 employees in the team and only 200 students. Now you cannot fire them, right? So there is a lot of training cost. There is a cost of educating them. There is a cost of hiring, everything. What happens in terms of RPA? RPA, I have created a robot. One robot is able to handle, let's say, 20 employees, 20 students. Tomorrow, the number of increasing, right? The number of student increases. I don't have to hire more people. I just increase the number of robots. And when I say increase the number of robots, from one robot, I can make it to 10 robot in just a matter of click. Instead of one, I will make it 10, save, job done. No more hiring of new employees, no more cost in training. It is just one process, done one, done and coded once. Now when there are more and the data scaling, you just repeat the number of robots. You just increase the number of robots. Similarly, increasing, you can decrease the number of robots as well. Okay, so now this is a slide which talk about RPA growth and opportunities. What does it mean? So this is, you don't have to trust me. There is a source which is given, right? So as per this sources, which is Future of Work Report 2020, 97 million of work is what it estimate that can be automated. Okay, there is an increasing demand in RPA by a 40%. This is the well-paying job, and as per sorry, as per the Future of Work 2020, it says that the 84% is now in the rapid business transformation, which means that now employees does not want to do the repetitive and the mundane task. If I hire employees, I don't want to give them a task which they fed up of and they don't feel passionate about, right? Rather, companies are moving towards digital transformation where the RPA is the first step, right? So it says that 84% of the rapid business transformation is done with the help of RPA. Daily, around 5,000 plus openings are being posted for RPA jobs, right? So you don't have to trust me. These are all the sources. You can always go to the Google, read about it, and get the stats. Okay. Now, why should I choose RPA as a career, right? There are other technologies, there are other fields. Why should you choose RPA as a career, right? So this is a slide which is from Future of Work report, okay, posted on the Uipath platform as well. It says that by 2025 there would be around 135 if I just see 135 millions of jobs which would be emerged in field of RPA. So if this much number of jobs are arising, that means RPA can be a good career option. Okay. Now, till this point, I was just talking about RPA, and RPA, right? Now, when we say RPA, there are multiple tools. Similarly, if I have to do programming, I have multiple technologies. When you have to do RPA, there are multiple technologies. The point which we are, so I am a Uipath MVP, as Anuj has already told, and the tool which I am telling today is Uipath. Now Uipath is one of the tool which is doing RPA. Now the question arises, if there are multiple tools, why should I choose Uipath? Now I will provide the reason for that. The first thing is Uipath has been voted #1 on G2 for RPA. So G2 conducts a research for across all these four categories, whichever you are looking on the screen, right? And Uipath has been leading that for all the four regions for last 2 to 3 years, right? All of this, you don't have to trust me. You can always go to Google, search for that which is the best RPA tool in the market, and you will get your answer. So this is the stat which I just wanted to show you, that this is why I am sticking to Uipath, and I will talk about Uipath, right? So this is a chart from the Gartner Forrester Wave, right? You can see Uipath at the top, which is in the leader category, beating all the other contenders, right? And it has been doing this for the last significant number of years. So Uipath has been named as a leader in the current offering strategy and the market presence as well. This tool can do everything, right? So that is why I'm sticking to Uipath. Okay. Now, when we say about Uipath, right? So I will come to this slide in a little bit moment later, right? Let us do some of the interesting stuffs. Okay. When we talk about Uipath, right? So the first thing is Uipath has three major components: Uipath Studio, Orchestrator, and Assistant. We will talk about them a little bit later. But if I have to develop a code, okay, so I am working as a developer. You might be working on anything, right? So you might be a developer in C Sharp, you might be a Java developer. Whenever we are working on any technology, we require a platform where we can write a code, right? Similarly, to write a code, to build a robot, to build an assistant, what I require Studio. So where I go to here, I have Uipath Studio installed on my machine, and this is how Uipath Studio looks like. So what is this Uipath Studio? This is a simple platform which allows me to create the robot. And trust me when I say that it is very easy. I will actually now show it to you how easy it is. Okay, let me go here and create a new process. I say that, okay, today I am going to a new project, and I say that this is, I am going to show a student demonstration. Okay, I will just create it, and this one. Okay, so meanwhile this is firing up, let us see what we want to do. So let's say I have a website. Okay, I will just log into a website. Okay, so this is an Acme website. Let me just go here. Okay. Okay. This is the URL. Okay, so this is a website. Let's say I have a task. Okay, so this is a website where the user has to daily log in. Once he has to log in, he will have a dashboard like this. Then the user has to go to work items to see what all work has been assigned. So for example, I have log in with my ID Mukesh Kala. So I want to check that what are work items I have. So I go here, click on work items, and I see that, okay, today I have got this many work items. I can see page number 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 12. Now, before I start, I want to make sure to extract all of this data in an Excel file so that I don't have to come to this portal again and again, right? But if you will see, this is again a task where I have to every day come to this website, log into this website, go to the work item, extract the data, put it in an Excel, and send an email maybe. How about a robot doing all of this? Now, if you come from any other technology, you might be thinking that, okay, doing this task is very much hectic and we require a lot of code. Let me show it to you right away, live coding, that how easy it is. Okay, let me go here and click on open workflow. Uipath is a low code platform, which means that you have to write very less piece of code. Okay, let us see what that means. What is this? This is a browser, right? So when I say that I have to, first time this browser would not be available. If the browser is not available, what do I have to do? I would have to open the browser. So I just search here that there is an activity which is called open browser. I just drag and drop it here, right? Low code, everything done with the help of drag and drop. Now this open browser, this is asking me, I will open a browser, you tell me which is the URL. Okay, because without a URL, how it will function, right? So let me just copy paste this URL, whatever I want to open. Now it can be any URL, Facebook, Instagram, any URL which you can think of, right? Google.com. You just have to go here, put the URL here. Now, in my system, you can see I have Chrome, I have Edge. How would my assistant or my robot know that which one to open? If I go to the properties, right, you can see that it is asking me, okay, Mukesh, I am opening this URL. You tell me what is the browser. So I say that I want to use the I browser. That's it. If I save this and let me just go and close this guy. Okay. Now I am opening the browser. See, if you'll see at the bottom, there is no Edge browser. Only one activity I have put. If I go here and I say run the file, right? Now what has happened? I have created a robot for me. I have created an assistant for me, and I have instructed him to open a Edge browser with the Acme 1 URL. Now the assistant has fired up. That green icon means that my assistant is working. Now my assistant, as I have instructed it, now I have, see, if you can see, it has opened the, okay, IE browser I have selected, sorry, I will select it to Edge again. So it has opened the IE browser right here. You can see that it has opened the Acme URL, whatever we have specified. Now, why it has opened the IE browser? Because I think by mistake in here, in the properties, I have selected IE, right? I have to select Edge. That's it. As soon as I change it, now it has opened IE. Let me close this. I go here and again I say run the file. What would happen? Again, I have told my assistant, hey, now instead of IE browser, open the Edge browser. See, now my assistant has opened the Edge browser with the URL which I have told. It is there, right? Now, what is the next thing I have to do? I have to click on this work item. So the browser is already open. So let me just do one thing, go here and I say attach browser, right? Because I do not want to open a new browser window. I say attach browser, I attach it to the browser, right? So this is the place where I want to do the automation. So UiPath says that, okay, I have attached the browser for you. Now you tell me what you have to do. Now I have to click on this work items. So to click, if I go to the activities and if I just search here, click, see, UiPath has an activity which is called mouse click. If I want to double click, I will use double click. I want to use click, drag and drop the click activity here. Now it says indicate element inside the browser. It says tell me where do you want to click. I say okay, let me show it to you that you have to click on this button, work items. That's it. You just have to instruct the robot. It is like I have hired an assistant and I want to tell the assistant that this is what you have to do. Now what was the next thing? Once it robot clicks on that, I want to extract all of this data and put it in an Excel file for all these 12 tabs. Now see how easy it is. This is a structured data, right? When I was talking, I was telling that it can scrape structured, unstructured, all this data. See how easy it is. I go here and click on data scraping. Okay. UiPath says select a value. I say, okay, so this is a value. Now, intelligently, UiPath is able to identify that you have selected a table. Do you want to extract all of this data? I say, yes, I want to extract all of this data. See, UiPath is showing me a sample. That this is how the sample data looks like and it looks good to me, right? Till date, it was able to extract. I say, so it is asking me maximum number of results. Do you want to, how many results you want to extract? Do you want to extract 60? Do you want to extract 50? I want to extract all the records. So I say here 0. 0 means all. How do I know? It is written here, right? 0 for all. It's absolutely simple. I click on finish. Now the next question. Is the data spanning across multiple pages? UiPath is asking me, do you have a single page of data or do you have a multiple page of data? For me, the data is having multiple pages from 1 to 12. I say that yes. Now it is asking me, how do I know to click next? So how do I know? There is a next arrow, right? So this is the button which will switch the page from 1 to 2, right? So if I'm on 1, if I click on this button, so this is going to do next, right? So job done. Now what would happen? UiPath will extract all this data to me. Now what is the next thing I have to do? Once this data is extracted, I want to pull all this data and store it in an Excel sheet for my reference, right? That was my task. Now to write this data into an Excel sheet, it's a right range, right? This is the range of data. I am using an Excel range, right range, drag and drop it here. It says, Mukesh, you tell me, where do you want to place this Excel file? Should I place it on C drive? Should I place it on D drive, right? It is just like creating an assistant. I have told the assistant, extract the data, save the Excel. Now assistant is asking me, okay, I will save the Excel. You tell me, where should I save? Should I save it on the C drive, D drive? Let me go back to my folder, okay, and let me delete all this Excel from here. So this is the location, Uipath training and student group. As of now, if you will see, there is no Excel here. Let me just copy this, go back to the here, and I say that I want to create an Excel file at this location with the name of student data dot xlsx. Okay, I want to create an Excel with student data. Now again, my robot is asking me, do you want to create the Excel with the sheet name of sheet 1 or anything? I say that I want to create the sheet with name called Acme data. Okay, now it is asking me, I will create an Excel with this sheet name, but what data should I put it here, right? You would have to tell me what data. So I am telling, whatever data you have extracted in the first place, right? The output of this data will now become an input here. So output of extract data table is stored here. So this I have to pass here, extract data table. That's it. So whatever you output while you have scraped the data from the website, whatever you have output, this you have to write into this data table. That's it. This is the only code which I have to write, right? Now let us go and try to see if it works or not. Okay, I will go here, I will close this one. Okay, let's go to the flow and I say run the file. Okay, now let us see what happens. As you can see, there is no Excel file at all. Okay, my robot has started. It will first open this, click on the work items. See, now I am not touching my keyboard and mouse, right? If you can see at the URL, right, the page number is getting updated. Page number 4, page number 5, page number 6. Nowhere I have told my robot to extract the data till this page. It is so intelligent that once the page ends, it will stop the scraping. Okay, it will scrape all the data. It is collating all the data. Okay, it is putting all those data into an spreadsheet. Okay, once all this data is put into a spreadsheet, that data will be written in the form of Excel. Okay, so the robot is still executing. Okay, now it will go and we'll just wait for the execution to complete. As you can see at the bottom, the robot is still in green, right? That means that it is still creating that Excel. Okay, we'll just wait for the execution. Okay, if I go to the output, you can see that I was able to do this in 1 minute and 5 seconds. Okay, let me go back to the folder and you can see that I have something which is called student data. Okay, 23rd January 2022, 18:30. Let us just open this. Okay, I will just open this and I can see that all the data whichever was available is now extracted and put it in this spreadsheet for me with the file called Acme data, right? So if you see how many records I'm having, 114. So this includes all the data from the website, right? So if I just go to the website, you can see that the last record was 7705999. So let me just go to the end, 7705999. That means my robot was actually able to identify, extract all the data and put it into an Excel sheet. How many code I have written? Only 2 to 3 activities. Have I done a lot of code? I don't think so, right? So that is how RPA is powerful. Okay, let me just go back to Uipath. Okay, and now let me talk about the platform. So the tool or the studio which I was showing to you, right? So that is something called Uipath Studio. Uipath platform has 3 major components: Uipath Studio, Uipath Orchestrator, and Uipath Robot. So this is what Uipath Studio was, which I just showed, where we just drag and drop. So this is just like any of the IDE, integrated development environment. It has the capability to connect the AI and the ML skill and do the advanced stuffs as well. The one automation which I show to you, it was a very small one, but you can have a complex automation also written in Uipath Studio. So this is the first place. Why do I need it? I need it to write the code. To do any of the programming, I would require a studio. To do RPA, to do build a robot in Uipath, I require a Uipath Studio. As simple as that. The next thing is Uipath Orchestrator. Now, what is this Uipath Orchestrator? Whenever I have written the code is done and available on my machine, right? This is the code which is available on my machine. Now, let's say Anuj wants to have this code in his machine, right? Whenever we are working for a client, we are working for a customer, for a business. Now, if I want to deliver this thing to someone else, how would I deliver? I'm not going to give my machine, right? I'm not going to give my laptop to them. So for that, we have something which is called Uipath Orchestrator. Now, what is this Uipath Orchestrator? It is a web-based platform. Okay, so this is the URL cloud.uipath.com. So if I just go and continue with the Google, this is my orchestrator. I will just go and use the email ID which I have signed up for Uipath. All of this is absolutely free. You can download it. All the tutorials, everything is available for free. You just have to sign up and you can all of this, right? So this is the second component, guys, which is called Uipath Orchestrator. This opens on the web, but this has a mobile app also, which means that I can monitor my robots, I can add the robots, I can decrease the robot, increase the robot. Now, let's say you are a company and your company have created 100 robots. Now, if I am the head of the company and I want to monitor all the 100 robots, that which is working, which is not working, which has faulted, what are the logs, how would I go, right? So this is the place, centralized location where you manage your entire robotics fleet, right from the robot creation to the license management, AI, ML skill, everything is done here, right? So if I just show you, you can see that this is my orchestrator and I have deployed 14 processes on this orchestrator. That means I have 14 robots which are running. I can manage my robot, stop the robot, restart the robot, check the logs, extract the reports, create the graphs. Everything is done with the help of orchestrator, right? So the second important component for us is the Uipath Orchestrator. First was Studio, second is Orchestrator, and the third one is Uipath Robot, right? Why Uipath Robot? Uipath Robot is also called Uipath Assistant, right? So if you go here, whenever you install Uipath, you will also get something which is called Assistant, Uipath Assistant, right? So what is this Uipath Assistant? This is an exe which is responsible for running the robot, right? So for example, if I tell you that you have to draw something on the screen, you would say that, hey Mukesh, I will use an paint application. I say that you have to do some calculation. You would say that I can use a calculator. Similarly, if I have to run the robots on the machine or a computer, I would require an exe which understand the robots. So that exe for me is called the Uipath Assistant. As the name suggests, assistant, right? It is like I have created an assistant for myself, which has taken the repetitive and the mundane task from me, and it is now working here. How it works? It is installed on the local machine, something like this, right? So these are all the automation, right? So this is, say, all my assistants. So these are all my robots which I have created. So let's say I was having a task where on the daily basis I have to do something on the notepad. So I created an assistant for myself, notepad assistant. So now I can go here and I can say trigger my notepad assistant. So now what, see, if you will see, my notepad assistant has been triggered, and now it has triggered, it has opened the notepad and it has typed something, right? So let's say this was a task which I have to do on the daily basis. I don't want it to do it. So I created an assistant for me. I hired a robot. I created an assistant, right? So I just go here, click here, go here, click here. So you can actually schedule these processes. You can do it from the assistant. You can do anything with the assistant. It can be attended robots, it can be unattended robots. Attended robot was this one where it requires a human to trigger. But let's say I want this automation to run on every 15 minutes. With the help of orchestrator, I can schedule this to run on every 15 minutes. So that way my intervention is also not required. So total three components, the building blocks: Uipath Studio, assistant, and the robot. The robot is also called the assistant. Okay. Now, the question arises, UiPath was interesting. I found it interesting. Now I want to install it. How can I do that? Yes. So this is the link. You have to just go to Uipath Automation Cloud. There is a link which says Download Studio. You have to just install it, and all these links and everything would be shared to you by the deck. But I can quickly show it to you how easy it is. You just have to go to the website, go here, go to a website which is called uipath.com. Okay, because this is a tool which we are using. Go here, and at the top you would see try UiPath for free. Click this button, right? You have to register yourself. You can download the studio, you will get assistant, you will get orchestrator, and you have to just get started. As simple as that, right? Okay, so now let me just move forward. Okay, so okay, now once you have started the automation, right, what is the next thing you have to do? I would require someone to teach me where should I start, right? So to start your UiPath journey, first thing is you require a software. You have got the software with the links which I just showed. The next thing UiPath has is called the Uipath Academy. Now what is this Uipath Academy? Uipath Academy is a professional website platform, online learning platform created by RPA, right? RPA Uipath, where it has all the automation courses which you require to build your skill. So if I just go here, you can see that there is one more website which is called academy.uipath.com. Okay, academy.uipath.com. This is the official Uipath Academy where you have to go and you will find all the courses for RPA. All the courses are done and developed with the help of Uipath experts. Uipath owns this website, and the best part is absolutely free. You don't have to pay anything to anyone. All these courses are absolutely free. At the end of these courses, you get a certification also, right? So if you can see, there are a whole lot of courses which you can learn, right? If I go by learning by role, you can see that there are a lot of courses like solution architect, citizen developer, RP starter, developer foundation, all of these courses. So the second place which you have to explore is Uipath Academy. Uipath Academy has on-demand courses, absolutely free, right? Now what is the next thing? The next thing is you can join the Uipath student community developer, connect with the student champions, and if you have any more questions, you can write it at that location, right? And when you are doing this, right, so Anuj was telling that you have to do some of the courses, right? So the course here is RPA starter. So if you will go to this academy website, there is a course which is called RPA starter. If you go and expand here, RPA starter means where do I want to start, right? So introduction to RPA and the automation, this is the course, 1 hour course which you have to complete. Okay, so maybe Anuj can talk more about it once we wrap up the session. Okay, so this is the course, this is Uipath Academy. You can connect with Uipath folks, right? And what are the other things? Uipath Academy, I have already told, there is Uipath forum, where in case you get any problem, if you get stuck anywhere, you have any question, any queries, you can post the query in the forum. People from Uipath, people from community will be able to help you. Apart from that, there are various community events which are happening. You can just go to community.uipath.com. There are a lot of events which are happening. You can connect to the other RPA developers and increase your reach, right? So these are the three things which as a beginner you should explore: Uipath Academy, Uipath forum, and the community events. I'll take a pause to thank you all for being on the session. So these are my details. My name is Mukesh Kala. I have a YouTube channel. You can connect me over the LinkedIn, Twitter, or Instagram, right? So these are my handles. I will provide these details on the chat. And now, if you guys have any question, happy to answer.
Great session, buddy. Really great session. Before moving on to the Q&A part, I'll just drop in the link to the introduction to RPA course which they have to complete.
Yep.
So guys, this is the link to the course which you have to complete. After completing this course, you have to submit your diploma to the Hack to Skill dashboard. And apart from that, submit your t-shirt and then we'll get back to you. Now we have few questions which we'll take. So here is the first one. Mukesh, I hope you can see the questions.
Yes. Sir, why the robot fail in the captcha part? Okay. So captcha part is something, right? So if the captcha is, small, 2 plus 2, right? You can read the captcha, 2 plus 2 equal to 4, 3 plus 2 equal to 5. But with the increased technology, right, the captchas are getting more complex. So why the robot is failing in the captcha part? Two things, right? Maybe the logic is not well written to handle the captcha. If that is the case, you have written a good code, still it is failing. Ideally it should not fail, right? But it is an if it is an advanced captcha, like an image based or something to solve, there is a marketplace which is called Uipath Marketplace, right? You can go there. The default activities, if are not able to suffice, you can download the more advanced captcha solving code from Uipath Marketplace that are available for free. You can download it, add it, and explore it, right? So the site is Uipath Marketplace. You can just go to Uipath Marketplace, search for captcha. You will find lot more activities which the other developers has created. So you can explore that one. Sir, can we make websites with RPA? Okay, so first of all, RPA is not a website designing tool. Okay, but there is something which is called Uipath apps. Okay,
Yeah.
with the help of RPA, you cannot build a website which is taking input and doing all these things. But with the help of RPA, you can always create a user interface for your user with the help of Uipath apps. So Uipath app is a technology which will help you to create an interface which your users will use. They can provide the input output, and as soon as they click on the button, your robots automatically get triggered. So yes, you cannot make a website, a fully functional website, but yes, providing a user interface you can always make, and the technology is UiPath apps, APPS. So that is the technology which you should refer.
Next, we have this question. I guess you have already answered this a couple of times during the session. So, no,
Yes.
RPA is not gonna replace the humans.
Yes, it is not going to replace the humans. It is going to take the mundane and the repetitive task, right? So if I just shown, I was just doing that task, right? If it was mundane, now I don't want to do it again and again. I just created a robot and left it. Now I can do the more important tasks, such as speaking to all of you, giving the webinars, giving the seminars. That my robot cannot do, right? It
Yeah.
cannot interact and do it like this, right? So my mundane task taken care by the robots, it is not going to scope. Okay, what is the scope of RP? How it is different from the normal machine? Uh, Sorry, what is that? Learn of and
Machine
what is
learning, I guess.
machine
Machine
learning?
learning.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
How it is? Okay, so it is not different from machine learning, right? It's not competition. So okay, so whatever I was talking today, this is automation. The next part of RPA is the intelligent automation. Now what is intelligent automation? It is RPA plus the advanced capabilities. So it is not a competition to the machine learning, but you can add the machine learning skill to the RPA. Now if I tell you how it is going to work with the machine learning model, so you have created a machine learning model which is doing, let's say, extracting of the human faces from some place. Now you would require a whole lot of data to run that model. How will you get the data? To get the data, you would have to do a whole lot of homework. You have to go to, let's say, 50 websites, 60 website, go to the n number of emails, download the data. So that is the place your RPA will come in picture. It will get the data, put it in the dump, take the model to the ML model, run the ML, extract the output, and do the next step. So it's not different, it's plus. I would say it's not a versus, it's a plus. And RPA plus this AI or the ML makes it to intelligent automation. So to answer this question, Arushi, you should go and read about a term which is called intelligent automation in RPA. That would answer your question. How much our branch instrumentation and control contributes to RPA? I think this is for the college, maybe, or I was not.
I guess the question is not, like clear. So,
Yes. Okay, MacBook पर run होगा क्या software? Yes. Okay. So as of now, whatever I was showing, this is on the Windows version, right? So Uipath is going to launch it for the Mac, but as of now, you can run the robot, but this one as of now, no. Right. So you have to probably do some cracks and all to run this. That I am not very much comfortable answering. But yes, as of now, it is working on Windows. Yeah.
This is a really interesting question.
Can we publish our whole timetable with links for auto attending the classes? Okay, so that's an interesting one. Yes.
Mukesh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Mukesh, just
Yeah.
remember there might be some faculties watching the session.
No, no, no. I understand, right? So can we publish our whole timetable with the links for auto attending the classes? You can do that, but you should not, right? Because attending classes is something which is going to help you in building your curriculum, right? So you should not do it. But yes, in terms of RP capabilities, you can explore the option to do
Mukesh will like, हाँ बोलूं कि ना बोलूं? Should I say yes or no?
it. Yes, but in terms of tool capability, you can do it, but you should not. Okay, can we auto schedule the time when we want to activate the robot? Yes, absolutely. That is what your Uipath Orchestrator is, right? So if you go to Uipath Orchestrator, it has something which is called triggers. So I can have a robot. So let's say this notepad one which is showing, right? I can schedule it to run it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 9 a.m. in the morning. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 p.m. in the morning, right? So that is what Orchestrator does. It help you to create the triggers.
I guess this is the preceding question to the previous one. Like, let's make the bot and then schedule it.
Okay, let's make the bot and let's schedule it. Okay, yes.
Okay,
Okay.
NITJ folks are really sick of class. No comments on that, guys.
Okay, can RP robot buy cryptos at the deep for me? Yes. Yes, 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 it can do, right? So it's like, so if you will see, right, what RPA is doing, whatever you instruct the robot, it does the same, right? So Mukesh has created a robot which opens a website where the cryptos are there, right? It extract all the information which is at the crypto, right? 200, 300, 500 cryptos, put it in an Excel sheet, do the calculation, right? That, okay, this is at the lowest, sends an intimation to me that, hey, Mukesh, I want to do this, and then logins to your trading account and do this, right? Absolutely, you can do it. Absolutely possible.
So I guess we'll take. Sorry, wrong question. This one. So this would be the last question of the session.
Okay. Can RPA program take decisions? Right. So RPA, see, if you will see, right, we are teaching the robot, right? RPA can take the decisions. So that is where your intelligent automation come in picture. If you talk about plain automation, it cannot do. But when you club RPA with the intelligent automation technologies, right? AI, ML, and if you see, there are a lot of more and more models which are coming. You have an option to write your own ML model as well. So if your ML model has the capability or your AI model has the capability to take the decision, yes, your RPA program can also take decision, right? But that would be again a part of intelligent automation. So RPA plus intelligent technologies make it to intelligent automation. So that would answer your question. Sorry, take
Guys,
decision. Yeah.
this would be the last two questions which we are gonna take. After that, if you have any more questions, feel free to join our Discord community, and RPA mentors will be
Yeah.
there.
If you can just share my details, right? Whatever I have shared on the private chat, so people can communicate directly me on this chats as well. Okay.
Definitely.
So sometime during pumping, we have to buy cryptos within second just by getting name of it. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible, right? So see, okay, so if a human is doing it on a repetitive basis, how are you knowing that what is the name? You are reading it, right? So you would have to teach the robot to read that thing. So how, so if you will just see, I have created a robot where I was going and clicking on that thing. So that means I have instructed it to do it. Same thing you would have to do to the crypto. So yes, this is actually a very
I guess
okay.
I should plan a session with NITJ on RP and cryptos together.
Okay, so what is this? We can deploy market indicators for RPA, do the trading like making Bollinger Brands over a live chart and define the buy and sell. Yes, exactly. Great. So So whatever, so how do you take a decision, right? If you have to buy or if you have to sell, you do the statistic, right? You extract the data. If there is some intervention of your manual experience which is involved, that RPA cannot do. But if there are fixed set of rules, like let's say when there is a dip of 5%, so it is 500, 10% goes down, sell it, 10% goes up, buy it, right? So if there are fixed set of rules defined, yes, absolutely, RPA can do it. But if there is something buy and sell decision which comes from your experience, that definitely it won't be able to do.
So that would mark as the end of the Q&A part. So I'll like to wrap up the session. Thanks a lot, Mukesh, for joining in on this weekend to take session, and thanks a lot everyone for asking such interesting, interesting questions. And I guess I need to have a meeting with your college faculties once to see how we can customize your class schedules. And that's it. Yeah, thanks a lot, everyone. Shantanu, Anupa, for making this collaboration possible. Mukesh for taking out time and taking the session. And students, the important part, the community people for joining in the session.
Okay, thank you, Anuj.
Yeah, bye bye, everyone.
Bye, Anuj. Bye.